Callum, almost the end of the season. Are you kind of looking forward to this season in a sense being over and focusing on going forward?
Yeah, of course. You always, like you said, we try and finish strong tomorrow with the game, get a good result, good performance, and then, like you say, we take a wee break and try and put it beyond us. Have a freshen up in the summer. Obviously, boys have got international duty as well, which we're looking forward to. And then, like you say, come back in for pre-season and start again fresh.
Is it kind of hitting home for you all how much is going to change in the summer?
Yeah, I think there will be a big change. Obviously, the club will make a decision on that in due course, and like you said, it'll be kind of freshen up for what it's been for maybe the last 3-4 seasons. So just as a player, you have to get your head around that as quickly as possible. Come in with a freshness and ready to impress.
Scott's obviously leaving. He's been the captain for so many years. You have captained the side on occasion this season when Scott hasn't been there. How difficult a role is that to replace Scott?
Yeah, it's obviously very difficult. I think everyone's spoken recently about how influential Scott is, and just as a captain, as a person around the building, and then when he steps on the pitch, he's a real leader as well. So it's obviously a difficult job. Try and do it to the best of your ability, and hopefully guide the team in the right way. So whenever you're asked to step in and do that, then you just try and do as best as you can.
Callum, you spoke about the Euros there with the unfortunate injury to Kenny McLean. Is that just one of the kind of pitfalls of being a professional at this time of the season?
I think so, yeah. It's obviously really unfortunate. I feel for him massively to be missing the tournament. Obviously Ryan Jack as well, similar situation. And like you said, these things can happen at any time. Injuries, obviously, I think it was the last game of the season. And then boys start questioning, should you play, should you not play? But these things they're always going to happen in circumstance. So you have to just try and be as fit as you can for as long as you can. And it's just unfortunate timing. Other boys will be gutted for him as well.
Is it something that's now in the back of your mind going into the last game of the season?
No, like I said there, it's these things can happen at any time. They can happen, in the lead up to the tournament. It's just unfortunate injury as part of football, and you have to try and deal with that. So it's like I said, it's not in my thinking. I just try and keep myself as fit as I can and as healthy as possible, and then you just take it from there, really.
Given that you and Ryan, maybe James Forrest, Greg Taylor could be in the squad, and Hibs are playing in the cup final next week, is there going to be any tackling at all?
Hopefully no. No, obviously the games are always important. Like you said, Hibs are in the lead up to a cup final, and they'll be bang at it as well. Even if they make a few changes, the boys that come in will be desperate to impress. And like you touched on earlier, there's going to be a big change here in the summer as well. So we're still playing for places as well. The guys that will be here. So I don't think it'll be a kind of nothing game. I think everyone will be going out to try and impress, especially with the Euros coming around as well. You'll be trying to find some form and keep your fitness going as well.
Thank you.
Callum, you spoke about you're expecting big change in the summer, but you don't know what that change is. You don't know who's going to stay. You don't know who the new manager is coming in. How hard is that to deal with?
Yeah, I think it's obviously difficult when you think about it, but football's very fluid in that sense, where there is a lot of change. Maybe it goes in like 3-4 year cycles, and then everything changes, players change, 9 times out of 10 manager changes as well, and things like that. So it is an industry where there's a lot of change, quite regularly in terms of trying to freshen things up. So I think you get used to it as a footballer. You, like I said earlier, you just prepare as best you can, and when you come in and you meet new people in football, you do everything you can to impress them.
Does it play in your mind a lot? Because obviously, when a new manager does eventually come in, you're going to have to form new relationships. You're going to have to impress him all over again. Although I'm sure he's been, whoever it is, been watching from the sidelines. But does that kind of play on the mind?
Yeah, I think so. I think, like you said, when you meet new people in football and you work with them, your first impressions are always key as well. You want to do well. You come back in. You're working really hard in pre-season and trying to impress. And as a footballer, you're always under the microscope to impress as well anyway. So, like you said, it's just that first wee bit when you come in, you have to have that hunger to impress.
And just going back to the Euros, obviously with Ronnie talked about the unfortunate position with some players having to pull out through injury, but obviously that opens the doors for others. The likes of your teammate David Turnbull has been very heavily linked with coming into the squad. How unfortunate would he class himself not to be in that squad, do you think? Because he's had such a good season, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had an excellent first season at this level. To come into such a massive club and have the impact that he's had. He's still a young player as well, and he's always learning. So he's been hugely impressive. And like you said, he maybe find himself unfortunate if he doesn't get there. Obviously, as being Celtic boys, we very much hope that he does. And I think he's done enough throughout the season to impress. So, obviously the manager picks the squad, and we have to just accept that and respect it. So. I'm sure he'll be desperate to be there, and like everyone is. So fingers crossed.
Just a final one from me, anyway. In terms of your other teammate Lee Griffiths, would you take a gamble on him because you know what he can do?
I've spoken about Lee so many times. I'm always very positive on him in terms of what the quality he possesses, and like you said, he gets you goals out of nothing. And so obviously, again, it's down to the manager. He picks the squad. I'm not trying to tell him how to pick. But obviously, I've spoken about Lee before. He's a goal threat, and obviously in tournaments you need goals as well. So we'll wait and see. But I know my opinion on him.
Callum, it's obviously been a tough season at club level, and you're hoping to pick yourself back up before the Euros. I'm just wondering what you and the other Celtic boys have planned before the squad meet up in 2 weeks or so.
Well, just obviously get the game tomorrow, and then we've got a bit of time off. So, just relax for a few days, and then probably towards the end of next week, start of the following week before we meet up. Then, I know myself, I'll be planning to do some work on the grass and get myself ready for it. So I'm pretty sure the boys will be very similar to that as well.
How much are you looking forward to that first meet up before you go to the pre-season training camp abroad?
Yeah, obviously, really, really looking forward to it. A huge occasion for the country, not been there for so long. There'll be huge excitement, huge anticipation around it as well, and to be a part of it would be something special and something that I'm really looking forward to. So we get the game out of the way tomorrow, we get full focus on that, and then like you said, full focus after that on meeting up with the camp and having a positive summer.
Scotland player plays for Hibs as well, Kevin Nisbet. What do you expect from them tomorrow?
I think they'll be highly motivated. Like I said, they've got the cup final the following week, so even if the rest guys or the guys that play normally they'll be playing for places. So I expect them to be hugely motivated. They're always a difficult team to play against, especially when you go to Easter Road. They've gave us tough games in the past there, obviously one earlier on in the season as well. So, we expect a tough game, and we'll have to be at our best as well.
How's Scotland been this week?
He's been emotional. I think he doesn't like to show it, but he's when you let it sink in terms of his last week at Lennoxtown, the boys have been giving him wee gifts and stuff like that, and just saying thanks. So it's been a nice kind of atmosphere, and obviously we'll hugely miss him around the building. He's such a great presence, such a great friend. He's always up for a laugh, and it'll certainly be a quieter place without him.
How strange will it be? Because he's been there your whole Celtic career, and then next season you're going to be coming up against him. How different is that going to be for you? Yeah,
it's going to be strange. He's been here for such a long time. Like you said, he's been here my full career at Celtic. He's someone I look up to hugely. And like you said, he's not going to be in the building anymore. And it's a sad thought, obviously, that as well. But at the same time, football moves on, and you have to adapt again as well. So it's going to be a kind of strange one the first few days, I think, when we turn back up and it's quieter than normal. Any special surprises planned for him tomorrow? We've not really got anything. It's kind of difficult with the COVID stuff and that as well. So that's been probably the only down part of it, is we've not managed to really send them out properly. And you see the game the other night. It's obviously empty stadiums and it's a wee bit flat. But for someone of his ilk, then we'd have loved to send them out with a full stadium. A big party or whatever as well would have been great. So. That's the only real disappointment bit of it. But I think he knows what everyone thinks of him in the building and how highly we hold him. So, A little bit disappointing, but we'll see.
How much of an honour would it be, Callum, for you to take that armband permanently next season?
To be honest, I'm not really thinking about that at the minute. It's a long way off. I've got the Euros in the summer with Scotland, and I'm just full focus on that. There's going to be a lot of change in the summer probably. So anything can happen. So it's you're just going to need to be flexible. If the manager comes in and he's got his own thoughts on things, then that's absolutely fine as well. So we just need to take it how it comes. And like you said, at any time I've had the honour of captain Celtic, it's been a massive honour, something I'm hugely proud of. And that's every time I wear the armband, then I give it everything. So like I said, we'll just need to see what happens in the summer.
I don't think I'll be sparing your blushes by saying you'll likely be an integral part of this rebuild come the summer. Are you embracing that responsibility of being a core member of this team that is going to see through what will be probably the largest period of change in the club for decades?
Yeah, exactly. It's a huge challenge. It's a big opportunity as well for the club. So it's like I said, it's a big challenge, and the guys that have been here, kind of throughout the success, then like you said, most likely they'll be the kind of guys that the club tend to lean on for experience and try to guide the new guys through, or the younger players through as well. So like you said, there's going to be a big responsibility on guys like myself and James. So we just need to try and take that on our shoulders.
Callum, how important do you think it is for you to be able to, take that sort of mentality that Scott's essentially passed on to you guys, and been able to have that continuity and take it forward?
Yeah, I think experience is obviously really vital in football in that sense. So we've managed to kind of get a good core that's got decent experience at winning trophies, and playing at such a high level, whether that be Champions League or Europa League. So we have to take all that together. Like you say, we're going to lose Scott. He's passed on all that experience. So it's up to our guys now to take that responsibility and pass it on to the younger guys, and hopefully be as good a role model as what Scott's been for us. So it's kind of came full circle in that sense. So now we need to take the mantle and try and take it on as well.
And how influential has he been in shaping you personally as well? Because you've obviously learned a lot from him.
Yeah, absolutely. When you work with a guy as intense as that, his standards are brilliant on and off the pitch, and you can't help but learn off it. It's infectious. And the way everyone's been speaking about him recently, how successful he's been at the club, then if you don't learn off someone like that, then you're never going to learn off anyone. So he's been a great role model for me, someone I've leaned on massively in the last couple of years, and I feel like we've got a good relationship on and off the pitch as well. So it's up to me to try and take as much of that into my future career as well, and obviously Scott do the same. He'll go on and try and make that transition as well for playing to management.
Do you enjoy that idea of having a little bit more responsibility potentially next season?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said earlier, it's obviously for us guys now to take that mantle. Guys like me and James, we've been there for a lot of years as well now, and it's up to us to try and pass that on. So, ultimately the responsibility is going to lie with us.